Hello and welcome to round 2 of the Parenting Roundabout podcast for the week of October 24th. I'm Terri Morrow and I'm here with Catherine Haleko.
Hello.
Usually on this podcast, we talk about parenting issues, but once a week, Catherine and I like to get together to discuss TV, movies, books, and other entertainment topics, because it's nice to talk about something other than parenting for a change. This week, we continued with Season 2 of Rutherford Falls and Week 6 of Dancing with the Stars, Season 31. And let's see, we've had Elvis Night, we've had James Bond Night, and now continuing in that list of cultural icons, we had Michael Bublé Night.
Michael Bublé.
Is he a cultural icon? They seem to want us to believe that he was. I mean, I've heard his name before. I have a general idea of the kind of music he makes.
Right.
But I came onto this going, really? Really? But I got to tell you, he was adorable. He can come back and judge anytime as long as he swears not to give Heidi a 10 again. But he had nice, upbeat things to say to everybody, even Vinny. He was saying nice things to. And if he knew the person, he would tell a little story about them. He was just all full of admiration. A few times he gave people a higher score than the other judges did. I was very impressed with him as a judge. As a singer, well, he did sing one song. And then other people sang his songs to varying effects. But the whole thing of him judging, it's like, what do you got to say, buddy? But he was, he did. He was very sweet and encouraging and positive about everybody. And isn't that nice? Mm-hmm. It's good to
We need that sometimes.
We do, yes. So let's see, where shall we start about this? Did you, first should we mention that,
we should confess that once again, I did not watch the whole thing, and Terri had to give me the digest version.
Just to give like this episode a little higher culture. What book did you read for your book club?
It was a science fiction book called All Systems Red, R-E-D.
Okay.
And it is the first book in a series called The Murderbot Diaries.
Oh my.
Yes.
Did you like it?
It was science fiction, which is not my thing. It was about 125 pages long.
Oh, well,
so
that's my thing.
It had that going for it. It was a good discussion. Yeah. It was the kind of book that you have something to talk about. Mm-hmm. So that's always good.
Nice.
Yeah.
So
that's why I was not able to watch.
You did that bit of respectable culture, and then you hurried home to watch dancing to watch what I told you to watch of Dancing with the Stars.
Yes, we have this method now where Terri gives me the timestamps.
Yes,
and I watch the important parts.
Well, you watch the things that I feel like I want to talk about, is what you do.
Right. So the first thing I watched was Vinny.
Yeah. The thing about Vinny, I mean, Coco was worrying about him getting the rhythm of it, and indeed he did not get the rhythm of it. And he didn't do the greatest job, and he seemed upset with how he had done, no matter how much Michael Bublé tried to cheer him up.
Right.
But the thing that cracked me up about it is, number one, there were immediately boos whenever anybody said anything bad about him from the crowd. And the judges were all falling over themselves to say, well, that was awful, but you're a great guy and we like you, Vinny. The crowd loves you, man. And there would be a cheer. And then every one of them was going like, that's terrible and we're giving you bad scores, but you're just a great guy.
Well, we love you.
The judges are like, don't hate us. Really? No, we're good people. We're not picking on him. He just can't dance. Mm-hmm. Oh, I don't know. It's true that he probably doesn't still belong on this show, but I like him. He amuses me. He has a good attitude. Yeah. And I'm mad at other things that they're doing. So
you are going to keep
I am one of
Vinny single-handedly
all the
in this
people
game.
on Facebook who are saying, who's voting for Vinny? And on primetimer forums, well, they used coarser language for it, but who's voting for Vinny? And it's like,
me, Terri.
Yes, just as a form of protest against there being like a nearly professional dancer at the top of the leaderboard, and many people who have dancing experience underneath that. And I don't know. Sometimes you just want to tweak Dancing with the Stars a little bit. But, at least they now have to act like they're on his side.
Right.
Even though they really aren't.
Because he's getting votes.
He is obviously.
And this whole ballroom loves you.
Obviously is getting votes, which is why I support him to upset the apple cart. Until let's see, what could they do? They could decide this week it's going to be just judges' votes counting. Or, you know what they need to do with this show next, now that they've got some things taken care of on Disney Plus that they can do, like the immediate voting and all of that. They need to introduce a way to vote people down.
Yeah.
So you can have 10 votes to support somebody and 10 votes to sink somebody. That's how they could get rid of somebody like Vinny. And I would be using them up I'm going to be nice. I said I was going to be nice this week, so I won't say who I would use my votes to deep six, but y'all know.
Yeah, we have an idea.
Check our earlier episodes. So, who did I tell you to watch next?
So, Vinny, and then I watched, the whole Michael Bublé sang a song, and Derek did a dance, and it lasted like 17 minutes, I think.
It involved all the pros. And
every single pro.
And Haley, his fiance. Yeah. And lots of Bob Fosse-esque posing and lighting. And just, okay. Well, that was... We all worked very hard on that, didn't we?
Right.
There was also an opening number that was choreographed by Jenna, who made another appearance because... Val and Gabby had to do a sexy rumba, and Gabby was having trouble with the sexy part. So Jenna came in and demonstrated how to be sexy with her husband, which was a little creepy, honestly.
Yeah.
Maybe she just said, they're going to be sexy, I want to be in the room with my giant pregnant belly in this leotard. Just to remind him.
Right.
Anyway, so that was interesting. But hi, Jenna. Nice to see you. And
I watched some of that opening number too, just while I was waiting for my instructions and getting myself in the mood. And, I'm never going to like a dance where it's one guy and like 8 women like swarming around him. Like, I don't care for that.
Yeah. Well, I heard actually one other person say that online. I was looking around at forums and stuff, and so you are not the only one thinking that.
Yeah. It's just like when they have the trios and stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't... It just bugs me. Like, oh, look how amazing I am. I can't beat these women. Like there's so many people just swarming me because I'm so irresistible. Like, no, thank you. Anyway, so I watched that whole thing. I mean, this is what they do with their time when they don't have to have commercials.
That's right.
Because they've got a package, too.
Yes. And the big dance numbers, okay. But I really am enjoying the little short ones, that, like while people are going up the stairs, that are have either the troupe or a couple of eliminated pros dancing.
Showing you
really fun. Showing you how to do. Some of them are showing you how to do the dances, but some of them are just for fun. Like Sasha and Daniela did one, and then the troupe kids do some, and they're short, and it's nice. It's a nice little touch that we didn't get in the old days. So another plus for Disney Plus in my book. Right. So Mark and Charlie, before we get to her dance, which I liked. Oh, Mark. What on earth is that on your head, man? I never thought I would be happy to see the man bun, but what died and landed on your head?
Yeah. What? There's curls, what? There's color, there's a lot happening.
If that all is actually your hair, I guess you could be proud of how full and bouncy it is, but still.
Yeah, maybe he's doing a COVID grow out like my son.
It was very hard to take anything he said seriously when he was sitting there looking like that.
It was quite a mane.
Yes, and Charlie had the smooth hair look, so they were particularly contrasty.
Right.
But I liked her better in this episode. Feels like she loosened up a little bit, and you would expect the ballroom dance would be the least emoty she would be, but she seemed to be more, I don't know, smiley and into it. Than with the kind of dance she knows how to do. Although she knows how to do this too. She was fantastic. So
right.
Mark doesn't have the bun when he's performing. How do they put that under whatever he wears?
I think it's probably like a low bun at the back of his neck.
Maybe so.
Having trouble. They've got it all slicked back.
What? It's
a lot of gel.
That back. That thing. I mean, there was a lot of volume there.
Yes, there was.
I would not think that you could put that into a bun that would look like, maybe it just went down the back of his suit jacket or something, but
that would be super uncomfortable, I feel like.
I would think so, and it should be, and he should feel discomfort, is my thought. I don't know. Maybe it's just a wig he puts on to make people like me go, what? I hope it is. I really hope it is. Ha ha, good joke.
You got us, Mark.
And then Wayne and Whitney. There was drama over the weekend.
Right.
Apparent drama. First, there was Instagram posts about Whitney and her family going to Cancun. And everybody, I assume, like me, was thinking, don't you have, like, rehearsals and stuff? You and your husband and your baby are going to go to Cancun for, like, the weekend? But it turns out she mentioned that Wayne had a gig there, so they went so that they could practice in his off time. But then she said something like, things changed while we were there. And everybody was like, oh, is Wayne going to have to drop out? No. Right. And I Googled to see if I could find like an actual news story about it, but all the online journalism, I mean, not that it was at its honorable peak when we were working for about.com, but basically now it's looking at social media and then writing a story
here's
about
what Whitney posted.
So it's like, you know, what's happening with Wayne and Whitney? And then you look and it's exactly what was in her Instagram post.
That's what you already know because you were following her on Instagram.
Yeah. So, but there was something about that he was supposed to be in Cancun. Wayne was supposed to be in Cancun, but then he didn't go. So, you know, it's like, well, is he injured? Is he not going to be able to go to continue? Or maybe Whitney's pregnant. Maybe that's what it is. Lindsay did actually announce today that she's pregnant. So I thought, wow, if Whitney is too. These girls are timing it. But no, it turns out he was just sick.
Right.
I guess. With more details than we really needed to know.
Right.
And so he learned his dance in like 2 days and came out and did it well, but not extraordinarily
great.
Well. Looked fine to me.
Yeah, looked fine to me too.
And Michael Bublé thinks he's really impressive.
Yes.
So there's that.
Right.
Always have
He's got that going for him.
Your scores may be a little low, but Michael Bublé thinks you're spectacular. Right. So
absolutely.
Yes. Oh, so when Wayne and Whitney went upstairs and they were talking to Alfonso, and I think, so behind them were Vinny, who was smiling and looking attentive to their conversation because he's, you know, a human being. And then also behind them was Trevor, who honestly looked like he was just honestly carved out of a block of wood, just like zoned out. And at one point, Wayne said something. Trevor had earlier said that he had thought about dropping out because it was so hard and he wasn't doing very well. And somebody asked him why he stayed. And he said, because I signed up. And I'm like, oh my gosh, is that just the most honest thing? Everybody said, I got this contract, man. What do you want from me? But no, he meant, I signed up for it, and so I'm going to do it. So Wayne alluded to that, said, like Trevor said, I signed up, so I'm going to keep going. And no reaction from Trevor whatsoever. Vinny was like, oh, yeah, that's right. That's what we do. Yeah. And Trevor is like, Emma must have pinched him because shortly afterwards he was like nodding his head.
Well, it's like when you're a model, it's his modeling background coming out where you totally just like completely tune everything out.
Yeah,
like, okay, I'll stand here if you told me to.
They have the pros need to work with their stars on giving good background face. Because it'll change people's opinion of you if you're standing there looking bored or looking zoned out or not reacting appropriately to what the person is saying. And on the other hand, if you are enthusiastically, which a lot of the times you see some of them are just really listening and nodding and, that's really good. That's impressive. That makes you seems like you're part of the team. So that's another, in addition to the dance steps, coach on the camera's going to pick you up. What are you doing?
Be ready.
Yes. Yeah. When you're watching from the balcony there where they stand, look like you're interested. Don't look like you're bored and wanting this to be over.
Right.
Just a little piece of
advice. Even if you do.
And Daniel's dance was, I got him higher scores than usual, I think. It was very good. Britt had this plan to teach him like he's acting, and I didn't necessarily notice a lot of difference, but it was fine.
Right. Yeah.
It was fine. I think my problem with it was that song they danced to. I don't know what the title of it is. It
Feeling Good?
Feeling Good. My strongest association of that song is from John from Cincinnati, where at the end of this 2-day thing where Sean, the boy, has been resurrected and smuggled home, and then gets the doctor's okay to go out in the backyard and skateboard. And so this kid who is basically dead is doing skateboard tricks in the backyard, and that's the song it's scored to. And so there's just such a sense of foreboding associated to, what is happening here? And, Daniel's just smiling all the time. He's smiling while he's doing this dance. I'm like, this isn't a smiley dance, but maybe it is a smiley dance. Maybe in other contexts it's a smiley dance.
Right.
And John from Cincinnati, it's a, bleep dance. So something's going down here, and we don't know what it is. So that's my unfair association with it. So I was expecting it to be a little more dark, and it was not. But it was fine.
Yeah, I can see how it has some dark qualities.
Yeah. So I felt like, look more dramatic, Daniel. Stop grinning. So those were the ones I told you to watch. We're missing all the top. I have vowed to not say mean things this week because I think it's uncharitable of me. So we won't discuss Heidi and Gabby at all.
Okay.
Except for the fact that Jenna was trying to teach her how to be seductive with her husband. But, we're in the business. Jordan's was just fine. She did a foxtrot. Very nice. Heidi did a samba. And Jessie did a salsa. And let us know that she's a fighter.
Okay.
But she didn't get to fight very long.
Da-da-da, here comes the reveal.
Yeah. Spoiler alert. Bottom two was Trevor and Jessie, and Trevor's dance was pretty good this week. I liked it. He actually, moved pretty good. They did what kind of dance did they do? I think they did a foxtrot. There was lots of foxtrots today.
Okay.
And
that would make sense. That's with the Michael Bublé
It was
music.
a very pretty dance. And they kept talking about he's a leading man, he's our leading man. And he was looking very leading man-y in that dance. So good for him. And Jesse's was okay. But I guess they felt that Trevor had done better that week. And so they said goodbye to Jessie, who just last week was queen of the prom.
Right.
This is what happens. This is how it goes. One day you were doing the best rumba from a man anybody's ever seen. The next day you're going home, Joseph.
Right.
This week, one week you're queen of the prom. Next week you're out on the back step.
Out the door.
Glitter in your hair. So that was the way it ended.
Right. And Jessie said, I'll go trick-or-treating
Yes,
with
Jessie
my
said,
kids.
now I can go trick-or-treating with my kids next Monday. And even though I knew that there are people who hate it when she talks about her kids, I thought that was kind of nice. She took it well, let's just say.
Right. I don't hate it when she talks about her kids. I just find it to be excessive.
Yes.
And also, like, I just don't quite buy it, you know, that she spends every waking moment.
You think she's going to have the help take those kids trick-or-treating and she's going to stay home and watch Dancing with the Stars?
Hate watch Dancing with the Stars. No, I did not say that.
Oh, I should also mention Shangela and Gleb started out the evening. They did a tango, and then there was some bit of business about fried chicken that I kind of missed the beginning of, but I think Len must have said something about crispy legs as a dancing term, and so she had pieces of fried chicken, I believe, down the front of her dress.
Okay.
Which she then, after the dance, pulled out and gave a chicken leg to Len. And then she had another one, and she was asking who wanted it, and Tyra took it and took a bite out of it.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Sure.
Okay.
Why not? Yeah, so next week is Halloween.
Right.
Ooh. And the return of the team dances, which they have not had for quite some time.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm not all that sure I missed them. But, okay, we'll see how they divide up these teams.
Right.
If they were divided up fairly.
Right. Well, is there an even number of people? 1, 2,
There's 9 now.
6, 7. Yeah. So they're going to have to
Three
do
teams
something.
of 3.
Oh, okay. Got it.
So if, like, Vinny, Trevor, and, say...
Jordan or Shangela.
Or Daniel...
Yeah.
are in a team together.
Then you know. Something is
Colin
up.
Fowl. But not that I'm saying there's any conspiracies. No.
No.
Just
You would never say that.
That this is an entertainment program and not an officially regulated dance competition. So it might have motives that... anyway. Vinny's still there, so I can't accuse them of getting rid of all the bad dancers.
Right.
But I like him. So, Rutherford Falls. We draw ever closer to the end of Rutherford Falls. The falls are going to go off a cliff, and we're going to just veer off at the last second. But this was episode 7, Firefighters Pancake Breakfast. I like me a pancake breakfast. I'd have rather gone to a firefighter's pancake breakfast than watched this, but okay. It was fine.
It was as we predicted, or you predicted at least.
Politicking.
Right. Getting ready for the big election, which is coming.
Bobbie's job was to charm the firefighters. Doing pretty good, and then Feather comes, passing out her free swag and making jokes about millennials and just... turning everybody away from Bobbie. And
Bobbie, of course, I am not and have never been a millennial, which is the same thing I feel if I get an okay boomer. I'm not a boomer.
I'm a boomer. But then anyway, Bobbie comes back and is pointing out to the firefighters how crummy their old building is and gets their votes back. And everything's going great for Bobbie until Nathan and Nelson, in a prolonged segment of bonding, got to talking smack about firefighters and how it's really no big deal, and anybody could do that job. And the grouchiest of the firefighters hears them and challenges Nathan to do some ridiculous fire obstacle course. which she does, and makes it through with only a significant singeing of a baby's head, but it'll be okay.
A baby doll.
Skin graft. Yes, a baby doll. Yes, they gave him a baby doll to see how he would do.
Right, he had to carry the baby doll for the whole thing.
Yes, the baby maybe lost a patch of hair, but it'll be fine. And then everybody loved Bobbie again. So, yay, Bobbie.
Yeah,
how many votes does that represent? Did they say somewhere that as go the firefighters, so goes the town?
Right. Yeah, I think because there were people gathered there at the breakfast, that's what it was referring to, but it certainly was, once again, very sitcom-y in the way that the public sentiment seesawed from Bobbie to Feather and back again in 22 minutes or whatever it was.
Feather just seems like the kind of mean girl that everybody would hate, but I suppose.
Yeah.
Free stuff.
Free stuff is Feather's appeal, basically, is what we're learning.
Yeah. So again, I ask where she's getting all the money from, but that's okay.
It's from her gym, Terri.
I don't care.
Or she's getting big fat campaign donations.
I guess maybe she's responsible for the calves on the firefighter guide.
Yes, because she has a gym.
Because other than that, the people of Rutherford Falls don't strike me as just extraordinarily fit.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe she has people from out of town. Who knows? Anyway, in storyline 2, Terri and Regan get high on
edibles,
and decide that they want to go into the legal cannabis business. And
because they need money. They need money because the ye old Rutherford Village thing is not as successful as Terri
I am very disappointed in Terri that he did not figure out every possible angle on this.
Right. As Regan said, don't you have a binder that tells us what to do in this situation?
His business prowess varies with the needs of the storyline.
It sure does.
And I don't like that.
Yeah.
So I guess it's like there's been a shift this season and he went from antagonist to protagonist. And now that he's the protagonist, he needs to be pathetic. Like Nathan. So not sure that was the right way to go.
Right.
But you only have one more episode, so whatevs.
We'll allow it.
We don't really have much.
We have to have
much say here.
Right. Well, and then as the subplot to that particular plot was that Terri had to go to this obnoxious guy from a different tribe and ask him for money to help him get started with this cannabis business. And, the other guy, while being obnoxious because he has more money that he knows what to do with.
Right.
He was perfectly nice about it. He wasn't, I think Terri was very afraid that this guy, Roy, was going to, just really throw it in his face that, you don't know what you're doing. And instead he was like, I'm in. Yes. I'll help you out.
It was suspiciously easy to deal with. So is that supposed to make us think, oh, something bad's going to happen with that? Or just like, well, all right, look at them working together. Isn't that nice?
Or ask and you shall receive.
Yeah.
And since we don't have time for it to go bad,
that's true.
It's going to end on that note. Because next week is all about the election.
Yes, it is. Oh, goodness. We don't have to really care which way it goes because we're never going to see anything that happens after again. So if Feather wants to be mayor, no skin off our nose.
Right.
But, this was, again, a perfectly serviceable sitcom episode.
Mm-hmm.
Some smiles, maybe a laugh or two.
Yeah.
Characters doing what the characters do, and we're out of here.
A laugh or two when Terri had his first experience with an edible.
And Nelson and Nathan, conveniently very closely named, are going to be buddies, I guess.
Right, because they're both into esoteric information.
That's right.
Which, I feel like Regan should have known. Like, she was very nervous about them, making sure that they would get along and be friends. And she should have known that they shared that particular trait.
She should have.
And also, like, well, again, because it was convenient for the plot, but like, they've been together for a while, and Nelson and Nathan have interacted before, so why now did we need this? But okay.
I don't know. It's just weird, but it didn't offend me. So go on your way, little sitcom. Do the things you do.
Right. Just have to mix and match all the characters.
So with one episode left, do you think we will see any resolution to Deirdre and Nathan? Was what Nathan said that they're not going to be together, they're just going to have a kid? Was that the end of that storyline? Or will there be a resolution? How about Regan getting land? Is that going to happen in the next episode? Or did we stand around at the public building for the whole damn day before being spit out the back door in the dark for nothing?
Nothing.
Are we going to see Josh one more time?
Question. I feel like there's not enough time for Deirdre to actually have the baby.
No, I wouldn't think.
Because that would have made a good, something.
Yes.
But on Halloween, she was not far enough along for that.
She was not.
To happen.
But, I mean, there could be a little rapprochement between them.
Yes.
Of some sort.
Well, especially if Bobbie does win and become mayor, they may need some coaching and tutoring from the former mayor, given that, Bobbie's 18. So
we have to make sure Bobbie doesn't do anything like, what was it Ben Wyatt did? A skate town or something like that? Although I guess the town has already been ye-olded and that's been a disaster. So
right.
It's been pre-disastered. So good for Bobbie.
So if Bobbie does become mayor, that's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, if Bobbie wins, the idea is that they'll be Terri's puppet, right? I mean,
I think that's Terri's plan.
Right.
For sure.
Maybe not Bobbie's plan.
Yeah. We don't know, and we'll probably really never find out to much of a degree.
I do feel that Bobbie is a very capable person.
That's true.
And could have some...
Yes.
Make some positive changes. But I'm not voting in this particular election.
That's right.
So.
Part of me feels like the best thing that Bobbie could do right now would be to get out of town.
Right. Do you want to go to college?
That's right.
Somewhere outside of this region?
You seem to have a lot of potential there, Bobbie. I'm not seeing Rutherford Falls as the place to play that out. Mm-hmm. But you do you. I suppose, being mayor is a good thing to have on the resume there when you go to on to bigger and better things. Right. Unless you destroy the town or the town becomes... I mean, I guess becoming a town magnet for cannabis is considered a good thing right now.
I guess.
I would think that would be the sort of thing that if Feather Day got wind of it, she might have something to say about, but...
Well, that's why Bobbie needs to win the election.
There's only one episode left, so will it be the election or will it be the run-up to the election?
Gotta think they better give us the answer. I mean, it was the season finale, even if they didn't know it. Even if they didn't know it was the series finale.
Yeah. Bobbie's campaign manager has already been through the fire, so should be good to go. And anything else you want to say about this episode?
I don't think so.
Yeah, that's pretty much the way I feel too. Next week, we shall, at last, finish up with Rutherford Falls with Season 2, Episode 8, Election. And continue with Dancing with the Stars, Mondays on Disney+. And that is going to be it for our Round 2 today. Please subscribe to our Parenting Roundabout podcast so you won't miss any of our episodes. We have something new for you every weekday. As always, you can find recaps, links, and an opportunity to comment on our website at parentingroundabout.com. Goodbye, Catherine.
Bye, Terri.
Goodbye, everybody.